Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and all the cards have been revealed from the upcoming expansion, which launches on November 4th, Across the Timeways. And as we always do on this channel after everything is revealed, we are going to make a tier list where we're going to rank every legendary card, S through FS being like, you know, auto-include, meta-defining, really good card, and F being, you know, grunty. Something real bad you don't want to play unless it gets Murloc Paladin, gets to be good or whatever, right? I guess grunty ended up not being that bad. I was right after all. Anyways, we're going to do that. We still have our giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders and 3 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter that giveaway. Like and comment in the video in the link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until next Tuesday with the rewards track video, I will add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. And if you want to fill this tier list out yourself, there's a template down below. We're going to shrink down my head a bit so we can actually see this tier list as we go along. And let's start off with Death Knight and Husk the Eternal Reaper. 4 mana 5/3 undead, no runes required on this card. Give your hero, let's get the battle cry of give your hero Death Rattle. Spend up to 20 corpses to resurrect with that much health. This even beats Wheel of Death or the new Rafaam, where even if they destroy the enemy hero, as long as you got this Death Rattle up and any corpses, you will come back with that much health, up to 20, which looks pretty good in today's meta. I feel like a grindy control deck absolutely would love this. It is a 4 mana 5/3, do nothing. You do need corpses to come back. They could just proc the Death Rattle and kill you right after. It's not like Ice Block where you go immune, but I think I underrated this initially, so I'm gonna go with an A. I think this will be a really strong card, not meta defining, but really darn good. We have Talanji of the Graves, the first Fabled legendary we'll go over, just so you know what Fabled is. Basically, you'll open Talanji either in a pack or crafted or whatever, and then if it's Fabled, you get 2 other cards to go with this, and you have to add them to your deck. They take 3 of 30 spots, and if you take 1 card out, you take them all out. You have to run them all, okay? So we have Talanji of the Graves, 4 mana 4/5, so Yeti, undead, Fabled, battle cry, draw Blumsamdi or resurrect him. If he has died, choose a boon to give him. Blumsamdi is a 6 mana 6/6 undead. Death Rattle, summon a random 4 cost minion. Any boons given to Blumsamdi carry over, and you also get the card What Befell Zandalar, which is a 3 mana spell, deal 2 damage to all enemies, so Consecration, pretty good. Choose a boon to give to Blumsamdi. The boons are Boon of Power, where you give Blumsamdi taunt permanently. Minions summoned by his Death Rattle costs 2 more, so you can get a 6-drop instead of a 4. There's Boon of Longevity, where you give Blumsamdi lifesteal permanently. Summoned by his Death Rattle costs 2 more, so it goes up to an 8-drop. And Boon of Speed, give Blumsamdi Rush permanently. Minions summoned by his Death Rattle cost 2 more, so he can get 10 drops. He can have Rush, Lifesteal, Taunt permanently, and the Death Rattle minions that spawn from Blumsamdi also gain those boons. So that's important to note. They'll get Rush, they'll get Lifesteal, they'll get Taunt. This package is kind of out there because it's going to be hard to draw the pieces. You really need all the boons. Like, there's not a great way of getting boons. You can only really get 2 unless you somehow copy something, right? Blumsamdi doesn't give a boon itself. You just have the 4-drop and the spell. You don't have a lot of great ways of bringing this back either. I feel like it'll be slow. It loses the cards like hacks and transform effects. I'm just not sold on this. I know some people think it's really strong. I think it's more C tier, that it's just too clunky, too slow, and not impactful enough, but we'll see. I could be wrong. There's definitely potential with the package. Next, we have Broxigar, the Fabled Demon Hunter legendary, which it's a 2 mana 12/12, which is insane. It is charge, start of game, he disappears, and then you need to kill all 4 demons from Argus for Broxigar to reappear in hand. You also have the Axe of Cenarius, a 3 mana 3/2 weapon with lifesteal. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, you would draw a portal to Argus, and then you have the first portal of Argus as your 3rd card. Summon a 1/1 demon for your opponent. When it dies, draw a card, and shuffle the next portal into your deck. They're all 0 mana, the portals, and the demons go from a 1/1 up to a 4/1. They always have 1 health, very easy to kill, but if your opponent can silence it or shadow step those demons, you're not going to get Broxigar, but if you do, you have a 2 mana 12/12 charge, which you can bounce and do other things with. And because he's the only minion in this package and he disappears right away, and we have no minion DH being a thing in this expansion, you can play him in that package. Is that good? I don't know, but I think he might see some play because, well, it's a 2 mana 2 mana 12/12 charge that could be a win condition, and it's just a really kind of cool design. We'll give him a B, but man, these are going to be so hard to evaluate, and I feel like a lot of these will be way better after rotation when a lot of like the starships and all that stuff goes away. Anyways, we have the Demon Hunter legendary location, the Eternal Hold, 6 mana, it has 3 durability. You get a demon that costs 5 or more, so that could just be any demon from any class, neutral, whatever. You just get it. There's no discover. If your deck has no minions, your next one costs 0. This is worded not super clearly. I thought your next demon costs 0. No, your next minion costs 0, whatever it is. Although, if you're playing this archetype, you're mostly just going to have random demons, but you could cheat out whatever minion you want, and that could be pretty powerful if you've generated some pretty good stuff. I just think of like the 2 mana spell, the box, whatever. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, where you get like Outcast and Discover Demons. Could do some stuff. I'm sold on this archetype. It is pretty expensive, and you definitely have to play no minions, but I'm a believer. I'm going to give it a B. I think the Eternal Hold sees play. We have Lady Azshara, the Druid legendary, Fabled legendary, 5 mana 5/5. Choose one, you empower Zinajari or the Well of Eternity, the other gets destroyed. So your starting Fabled deck will have the Well of Eternity, which fills your hand with random temporary spells, or you'll have Zinajari, which summons a copy of a friendly minion. I believe they're both 4 mana, both have 3 durability, and if you upgrade the Well of Eternity, you fill your hand with random temporary spells that cast twice, and if you upgrade Zinajari, you summon a copy of a friendly minion with its stats doubled. I feel like you just never upgrade these. Like, they're fine as is, and it's funny if you play Fandral, they'll just both blow up. It's like anti-synergy. But regardless, copying a minion, we know how strong that is right now, and Druid with the Lonius Druid really likes to do that, and other effects. This is going to see play, in my opinion. I think it's very solid. I just don't know if you actually want to play Lady Azshara. I feel like she's the worst part of the package. You just really want the locations that give you a bunch of value and also a really strong copy effect. We have Krona, Keeper of Eons, 6 mana 4/7 Druid legendary. It's got Taunt, Battle Cry. Set the cost of the bottom 5 cards of your deck to 1, so you can get a ton of mana cheat, and there are multiple cards this set that allow you to manipulate the bottom of your deck. In particular, that new 1 mana draw spell looks ridiculous and can be super strong. It's got like From the Depths type of kind of scariness. It is twice the mana though, but I still think Druid loves to cheat mana. This will pop up somewhere, be a scam thing somewhere. I will give it a B. I think it will see some play. King Maluk is a 4 mana 5/6 Hunter legendary. It's a beast and has Battle Cry. Discard your hand and you get an infinite banana. Like I said, in the Hearthstone ad, apparently they took a clip from my review. It's infinitely bananas, but overall I don't think the card's all that good. Like, you lose your hand and your reward is you just get a banana, and there's not that many synergies going on with it. I just don't feel like it's worth it at all. I'm gonna give him an F. I don't think Maluk sees play. I think it's a little bit weird. Like, I just don't know what I'm doing with this banana. I think it's pretty rough, so yeah, we're gonna give that an F. The first F of this review session, we have Ranger General Sylvanas, a 3 mana 2/4 legendary, Fabled legendary for Hunter with Battle Cry. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. If you played Illyria Verisa, repeat for each. This is a standalone card. It's just great. It's Consecration on a stick. I would want this in my deck. Illyria has Battle Cry, discover a spell. If you played Sylvanas or Verisa, repeat for each, so she could deal another 2 damage, or maybe do what Verisa has, which is Battle Cry, get minions in your deck +1/+1. If you played Illyria or Sylvanas, repeat for each. So this is probably the weakest of the bunch, but the other one's not bad. And I feel like unless you specifically do not want to have a non-beast in your deck, this card is super strong. I think it gets even better with rotation. I'm going to give it an S. I think this is going to be auto-include in a lot of Hunter decks. It's just really, really solid, especially Sylvanas. That consecration effect is super freaking good. We have the Mage Fabled Legendary Azure Queen Sindragosa, 5 mana, 2/8 dragon. If you control another dragon, your arcane spells cost 2 less. So you have to have another dragon on the board just to get any effect off this thing. You have Azure King Malagos. If you control another dragon, your arcane spells cast twice. We had a card that just did that on its own, but I guess it had worse stats like Vexalis, but kind of crazy. And then you have the Azure Stone, summon your dragons that died this game. Maybe this is just like a big resummon of dragons and that's good enough and you don't even care about trying to set up this OTK, but there's not a ton of burst for this archetype. There's not enough mana manipulation, in my opinion, to make this thing work. I think there's possible potential, but overall, I'm giving it a C. I don't think the whole package comes together. We have Timelooper Toki, the 4 mana 4/4 Mage Legendary with Battlecry. You get 4 random spells from the past, not just mage ones, which for some reason I just figured it was mage. When you play all 4, get another Timelooper Toki. This can just, you know, brick you so easily. Could get so many bad wild cards that could just draw you to death or just do awful things to you, and then you have to play all 4, then you get it back. It's not a good card. This is just no way this will be a good card, but it should be fun and people will enjoy playing it. And it's, it lives up to the flavor of the original Toki, which wasn't great. So as a result, I'm giving it a C because I think it serves its purpose and it's not a fail, which is like Maluk, which seems like you want to play it, but why would I play it, right? That's what I'm going with here, okay? We have the Gelbin of Tomorrow, an 8 mana 6/6 mech fabled legendary for Paladin with Battle Cry. Put one of each aura from your deck into the battlefield. That can be any aura currently in the game that you have equipped, but you also get 2 legendary ones to go with it. A 4 mana one in the Gnomish aura, which is tradable at the end of your turn. Restore 4 health to all of your characters. That one's not bad, not amazing, but not bad. Mekatork's aura, though, 5 mana tradable as well. At the end of your turn, give a random friendly minion +4/+4 and Divine Shield last 3 turns. This one's incredible. You're getting 3 Blessing of Kings basically for 5 mana plus Divine Shield. As long as you have stuff on the board, that is super good just on its own, and cheating it out, giving, I guess, your Gelbin or whatever a Divine Shield. Super strong. I think this card's really interesting and good. I just don't know if there'll be a Paladin archetype to make it work right now. I say it gets a B now. Post-rotation, look out for this card. I think it'll be way higher on the list. We have the Fins Beyond Time, a 2 mana 2/3 legendary Murloc for Paladin, so you can play this in your quest deck if you want. Battle Cry, replace your hand with your starting hand, swap back at the end of your turn. Just a value bomb. You just get more of your cards that you kept in your opener, so usually something pretty cheap that you can play. It's just free value for 2 mana 2/3, right? Premium statted. I think it'll see some play. I'm between an A and a B. I just see this going into quite a few decks. Like, I don't see why you don't really want to play it in your Paladin deck. It's just kind of free value at some point. Like, that's fine. Even like the aggressive Murloc Paladin, you get more Murlocs, right? Like, that's not too bad. Although you get your quests, which you can't replay. But still, yeah, I think it's just a really solid card for Paladin. We have Eternus, a 6 mana 6/2 Priest Dragon Legendary with Battle Cry. Take control of an enemy minion with this minion's health or less. If the hand buff Priest works at all, this card's phenomenal. Could steal an Egg of Kelos, could steal a lot of really good stuff, but if it doesn't, 2 health is not enough on its own to make it good. I think there's potential for it more post-rotation, so I'll give it a B, but there is certainly some merit to this card. We have Medivh the Hallowed, a 10 mana 7/7 Priest Fabled Legendary. This costs 0 if you control Karazhan, and it has Battle Cry, silence and destroy all other minions, which is an incredible effect, basically like Plague of Death on a stick. You have Atiesh, the Great Staff, which costs 0 if you control the previous card in Medivh, where you double the damage and healing of your spells. This just stays on board. As long as you don't attack or it doesn't get vipered, you never lose it. You can attack twice freely. That's not a problem. So basically it's an infinite Velen unless it is removed. And then you have Karazhan the Sanctum, the 10 mana location with 2 durability. It costs 0 if you're wielding Atiesh. And this also allows you to play Medivh for 0, summon 2 random 8-cost minions, so that could be anything, which could be scary if you get like double Octasari or whatever. Effectively, you could play all 3 for 10 mana. You could cheat this out through like that 5 mana taunt that could make your top deck 1 or Parrot Sanctuary. There are ways to cheat this out. This is a meta-defining control priest style of card. Whether it's going to be now or post rotation, I'm giving it an S. I think Medivh is absolutely going to be a 4, especially because you can scam 0 mana cards. It could just win the game on the spot if you scam it out. We have Time Admiral Hooktail, 5 mana 4/6 Dragon Pirate for Rogue. Battlecry, summon a 0/8 chest for your opponent. It's full of coins, so you gotta play this, kill the chest, get a bunch of coins, do something with that. There's no wishing well in standard, and even if there was, it gets an F from me. I don't think this card sees the light of day, at least with the current style of cards right now in standard. I don't see it whatsoever. We have Garona Halforcen. Again, I'm sure I'm butchering it again. 4 mana 5/4 Fabled Rogue Legendary with Battlecry. If your opponent is holding King Lane, destroy them and cut their health in half. King Lane is a 3 mana 3/3 that has start of game. Hide from Garona in the enemy's deck. Battlecry, draw a card, shuffle this back into your deck. So your opponent can basically never get rid of this for the most part. And then you have the King Slayers, a 2 mana 3/2 weapon. After your hero attacks, both players draw a legendary card, which does not guarantee you're going to draw your opponent King Lane, which could be pretty bad. You also will not know if they're holding King Lane. It won't like glow orange or yellow. You need to have hand information or just guess and see. But you're making your deck 29 cards since King Lane goes into their deck. It also like counters no minion DH and the no minion spell mage, right? So there is that. It could see play. It's a weird one. It's really fun in terms of you're playing hide and seek with your opponent, but you're messing with their deck, you're messing with their draws, and at some point you might just have their health, which could be really good. I was low on this card, but I've gone up to a B. I think it has a chance, but I still don't think it's good. I think people are overrating it, but I've been sold to move it up to a B. We have Farseer Wo, the 4 mana 2/6 Shaman legendary. It is elusive. After you cast a spell, discover a nature spell from the past. Most are bad. Most are, I mean, they're wild cards. They're not amazing, but maybe you could OTK, get Lightning Bloom into Crackle, into Lightning Bloom into Crackle, something like that. But to me, this will be a fringe value card. Probably doesn't see a ton of play, but 6 health, elusive on 4, pretty annoying. And if they can't deal with it, it could just kind of, you know, solo the game. So it's got that potential. I just don't see it currently right now. We have Muradin, the High King, the 5 mana 3/2 Fabled Legendary for Shaman. He is Rush in Battlecry. Bring the High King's Hammer to me. Death Rattle, you add it to your hand. So the High King's Hammer is a 6 mana 3/4 weapon with Wind Fury. Death Rattle, shuffle this into your deck with +2 attack permanently. And you also get a nice spell with this, with the Avatar form. 3 mana spell, give a friendly character +2 attack, and after this attacks, you deal 2 damage to all enemies this turn. So really good with that Wind Fury weapon. And Muradin will equip the weapon, whether you have it equipped in your hand, whether it's in your hand, in the deck, he will equip it, gain the stats, gain the Wind Fury. So basically at the gate, he's like a 5 mana, 6/6 Wind Fury Rush that gives you an insane weapon to play on curve that never goes away and can deal infinite damage. This is a win condition in itself. It's removal, and the spell you get with it is AoE damage. Incredible card, meta-defining card for Shaman. I think it's the best legendary of the entire expansion, and it is not because I revealed it. I thought that when I first saw the card really early. Time Thief Rafaam, the 10 mana 10/10 Warlock Fable legendary, is the coolest card of the expansion. He's Fabled plus, meaning instead of 3 cards total, your deck has 10 Rafaams and is 40 in size. Battle Cry, if you played the rest, destroy the enemy hero. We're not going to go over all the Rafaams. We have a whole video on that. They're right there, but basically you get a ton of value with this card. You can polymorph stuff, draw cards, cheat mana, get rush, get taunts, draw, really good stuff. Unbelievably flavorful card. People are going to love it. I think it'll be way better after rotation, but right now, Dirty Rat's pretty spooky. If you don't play every single Rafaam, you don't get the win con, but at the same time, you're getting 40 cards. Maybe you just win the value game. Could be something like that. I think he sees play. I'm gonna move it up to an A, a high A. I started at a B, I gave him a 3. I love Rafaam so much, he gets a promotion. He goes to A. We have the Chronogor, the 6 mana 6/7 dragon with Battle Cry. You draw your 2 highest cards, your opponent draws your 2 lowest cards, so theoretically you can make your opponents draw those like shreds of time or whatever they're called. They take damage, but they'll still draw 2 cards of your deck. But as long as the Cursed Catacombs is in standard, I don't know about this. Like, you do draw 2 high cost cards or highest cost, which can be valuable, but I just feel like you don't really need that in Warlock right now, and it's very expensive, no immediate impact on the board. I'm gonna go towards a C. Actually, no, it's still tutored card draw. He at least gets a B, but it's a fringe one for me. Chrono-Lord Epoch, a 6 mana, 7/5 warrior dragon legendary. Battle Cry, destroy all minions from your opponent played last turn. Note, it's not summoned, so the average opponent's probably gonna play like 1 or 2 minions a turn at best. And yeah, you could play this and destroy it. It's kind of like a deadly shot almost, but it's too fringe to me. It's just a 7/5. And again, if your opponent's just summoning stuff, it doesn't do anything. It's just kind of odd. I think it's too clunky, but it's got merit, so we'll give it a C. I don't think it's an irredeemable F. We have Logosh the Bloodfighter, the warrior fabled legendary, 7 mana 7/7 fabled rush with Death Rattle. Summon a Bloodfighter from your hand. It gains +5/+5 and attacks a random enemy. That includes Brawl the Bloodfighter, who has Taunt, and Death Rattle. Summon a Bloodfighter from your hand, give it +5/+5 in Taunt. And then you have Valeera the Bloodfighter, joining Warrior. I love it. Apparently it's lore accurate in the comics and all that. Death Rattle, summon a Bloodfighter from your hand, give it +5/+5 in elusive. So it's a lot of chaining of Death Rattles here, and you get +5/+5. So you're getting 12/12s that are hard to deal with. You can get some rush. It's just, to get this going, you need those Bloodfighters in hand. You need to avoid silences and things like that. I think it could work. It's one of these packages that doesn't look amazing, but it's really annoying. Like, it's going to be super annoying to deal with this. And if you don't kill these 12/12s, you're probably going to die. And Warrior's way of cheating things out right now, I'm going to give it a B. I think there's a chance for this card. I don't think it's a meta tyrant, but I do think there is a shot. And now on to the neutral legendaries, starting with Murozond, the Unbounded, a 9 mana 8/8 dragon. Battle Cry, at the start of your next turn, you set this minion's attack to infinity, meaning it doesn't matter how much armor, how much health they got. If it hits them, it will die, which is pretty insane. Like, this has to survive a turn, so you really need to take an extra turn, and you're looking at Zerimi Priest or Quest Warrior with Time Warp. Other than that, not really going to see much play. I think that could happen, though. I think it's got a small chance. Anything that can be an OTK card typically finds a way, so we'll give it a B. I think Murozond could see some play. Mr. Clocksworth, which apparently is already being nerfed, which was already not very good, rewinds only 2 times now, and it was pretty bad to begin with. Sorry, Mr. Clocksworth, you're irredeemable at this point. You're getting an F from me. Even with Shutter Block, you're underwhelming, so yeah, I'm not sold on Mr. Clocksworth. Timelord Nozdormu, 3 mana 8/8 dragon, dormant for 5 turns with Rush. After you play a card from the newest expansion, awaken 1 turn sooner. And we know Rogue in particular can play a lot of cheap cards. They got a lot of cheap cards this set, and there's classes like Druid that could possibly utilize this. It's only really good on curve, and if you got a lot of cheap cards, but you never know. I'm still leaning towards it doesn't see play, but every expansion, do we have to reevaluate this thing and see what's around, right? Because this card will change every set, which is pretty cool, but I'm leaning towards a very high C, but doesn't quite make the cut. We have Chrommy, a 6 mana 4/6 Death Rattle, draw another copy of cards you play this game. So the idea is, you know, I played a bunch of my cards in my hand. A lot of them are still in my deck. The duplicates, I play this, and then she'll draw a bunch of those. It's 6 mana to do that. She has to die. It's horrible. This card is a brutal. To me, it's an F. I know it's possible good neutral card draw, but it's so expensive, so clunky. And again, she has to die. It's just awkward. It's just awkward. I don't see it happening. And then lastly, we have Chrono-Lord Defos, the 7 mana 4/8 legendary. Your battle cries, death rattles, hero power, and end of turn effects triggered twice. Yeah, it's 7 mana, but it's got a lot of keywords on it that double in somewhere. Probably Druid or Rogue or something, especially like Sandbox Scoundrel can cheat this out. You never know. I'm going to an A because that many keywords just scare me. And when you have Druid that could get a bunch of mana and Rogue that could cheat a bunch of mana, something's gonna break somewhere, in my opinion. So there you go, a good mix. We got S's, we got A's, mostly B's, and then, you know, the stinkers of the bunch. But overall, like, a lot of these cards to me show promise, especially after rotation. Like, I feel like we really are in that rotation waiting room where they are lowering power level. Like, we're just kind of seeing it, unless I'm just misjudging everything, which I could be. I've been wrong all the time. Who knows? But we'll see how it plays out. Let me know what you agree with, disagree with. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.